So hi guys, welcome to my first video. So we are making sushi today. You might have seen on the title. So yeah, we've got all the ingredients sorted out here. And yeah, so we've got sushi rice. I've made some teriyaki sauce and some spicy mayo. This is just cumin soy sauce, sugar, and dashi, water, chicken stock, whatever liquid you like. You put that 1:1:1 and you reduce it. Spicy mayo I've made with Japanese mayo. Let me show you. And what did I add? Where did you go? Yeah. So yeah, this is like my favorite sauce. This is tobanjan, or you can call it tobanjan. You get it in lekunki or yuki. This is basically fermented chili bean paste. Love the smell. So yeah, I've mixed this with some Japanese mayo. Let me show you that too. Yeah, so this is classic QP Japanese mayo. And we have some sushi vinegar. So this is Japanese rice vinegar, but I've already seasoned this. I've mixed sugar and salt in this. So basically a ratio for a good sushi vinegar is always 1:2:3. 1 being the salt, the least. Then you add sugar. And then third is sushi vinegar or rice vinegar. So basically, if you take 1 cup of rice vinegar, you put half cup of sugar and even less than that salt. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with cooking some rice. So I'm going to use this rice cooker. Super easy. People complicate a lot about sushi rice, but it's like pretty straightforward. Very basic steps. Wash, soak, cook, rest, season, and done. So I'm going to take 1 cup of sushi rice. That should be good for like 3-4 rolls. Let me get that all. Make sure you don't miss any grains. These rice grains have traveled a long way to your kitchens, so try not to waste any. Let's put that back. So I'm going to wash this for like 4-5 times. So basically when you start washing the rice, you see the water gets cloudy. That's because of the rice starch. So you have to get rid of all the starch and you have to wash until you get clear water. Be gentle, like don't be so rough with the rice that you might break the grains or something like that. Be gentle. Because I've seen some people scrubbing it like with 2 hands and it's just not good. Always cold water for washing the rice and soaking it. Nice. Just one more time. I can see that rice is not making the water so cloudy. I'm just going to discard this water for once and then we are going to soak it. Same cold water for soaking. Just make sure that water level is higher than the rice. And now we are going to rest it. So the time about resting this depends on how old the rice is. Sometimes the rice is like way too old, the grain is old, so it gets dry, so it needs like a longer time to soak. I'll show you how to check when the rice is done soaking. So yeah, I'll let this soak. And now let's get some mise en place done. I'll cut avocados at the last. Let's start with the cucumber. Okay. So get a bin here. I'm not going to need all this cucumber. Let's see it later. Okay. So yeah, this technique is called katsuramukhi. and I'm not super good with this. That's why whenever I get time I try to practice. Some people like to discard the skin, and I say, why waste it? I'm cooking at home, guys. So the seeds are going to discard for sure. Leave it on the side, and we go again. I've cut myself so many times doing this. That's why I'm very super focused while doing this. Okay. Should be good. Now let's just cut it into smaller pieces. Let's cut this as well. Now let's just chop it into julienne. Yep, that's good. Nice and sexy. Be gentle if you're using your blade to lift things up, otherwise use a scraper. Okay, so it's been 10-15 minutes and our rice looks soaked. Let me show you. So basically what you need to see is, if you see the grains carefully, they have turned opaque white. There are still few grains that are translucent. We have to wait until all the grains are opaque white, and that's how you know that if it's soaked or not. Let's give it another 5 minutes and then we start to cook it. So now the rice is properly soaked. We are going to strain them. Yeah. Let's strain the water. Make sure all the grains. Now we are going to rest it properly. You have to leave it in the colander for like 4-5 minutes, so the water is properly drained out. So it's been 5 minutes. Let's transfer everything to the rice cooker and we start to cook it. So to cook the sushi rice, the water ratio you need is 1:1. So equal amount of water to the rice. That's it. Give it a nice shake, make sure it's flat, and then we start to cook. Let's put this in and let's start. Okay, so now the rice is cooked. Let me move this on the side. The cooker just went off, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fluff the rice. Nice. Looks good. Gently fluff the rice and I'm going to rest it. At this point of time, the rice can be slightly raw, slightly underdone. That's why you need to rest it for like 5 minutes. Let's taste some rice. That's pretty good. Okay, so now we rest this for 5 minutes and then we are going to season it with the rice vinegar. Sushi vinegar basically. So now that the rice is well rested, we are going to season it with sushi vinegar. Nice. So there are basically issues for this you can find online, but I like to eyeball it. Let me get this out because the pan's very hot. Yeah. So this is just to make the rice seasoned. This will make it nice, salty, sweet and tangy. So you can add it to taste. Nice. Make sure you cover every grain. And you have to make sure when you're mixing the vinegar, the rice is hot. Because if it is cold, it won't absorb the vinegar. Okay, so again, yes, now. I'm going to unplug this. Let's rest it for another 5 minutes and let's get ready for rolling. So yeah, this is called makisu, which we use for rolling. So it has two sides, the rounded one and the flat green one. We use the green side up, the flat side up to roll. And it is always recommended that you cling film the sushi mat before you use, so it doesn't get dirty. So how do we do that? Let me show you. I've got a cling film here and I'm going to spread it out. Nice. And you lay it down, flat side down. You're going to tuck the bottom up, this, Then you lift it up. You know what? Fuck this. Yeah. So you tuck it in. Then you are going to lift the sushi mat up like this. And you roll it, making sure everything is nice and flat. One more time. Yep. Nice. I'm going to free it. And we're going to tuck this at the back. And that's done. So now you have to take the tip of your knife and make few holes here to get rid of all the air inside. So it's not puffing up when you're rolling. Give it a good press, get rid of all the air. And done. Now let's get the avocado chopped and sliced. So what I'm thinking is I'll make a kappamaki. That's a cucumber husumaki, which is the black roll but with cucumber filling inside. And I will make just a plain avocado husumaki and one California roll. Voila, beautiful. Let me just slice this up. Looks slightly raw, but that should be fine. If it's peeling easy, it means it's fine. Nice. Let's get the other one too. So I'm going to cut this into like wedges. That's nice. Let's cut the other avocado. So we're going to slice this up and we're going to add this on the top of a roll. Beautiful. Let me put this inside for now. If your avocado is like super overripe, you can use a spoon to peel it. But this is slightly underripe. That's why I'm doing it by hand. Done. So I'm going to slice this. Let's see if the trimmings. And we slice. Done. Nice and beautiful. Yep. Okay. Okay, so let's get rolling now. Let's make some sushis. Make sure your board is nice and dry. Let's make some hosomakis first. I'll grab a plate to keep my rolls. Okay. So now let's grab the rice and adjust it here. I can see the rice is nicely done. Perfect. Now you take a mat and keep it like this or like this. So nuri sheet has two sides. One is the smoother, shinier side and the rough side. So the rough side is where you put your rice. Make sure your hands are nice and moist, not too wet. Then you take the rice. How I like to roll and spread the rice is like you spread it sideways and then you go up and down, up and down. The lesser rice you put, the nicer it is because the filling is like mostly the highlight of the sushi. Okay. Try not to mash the rice. Try to spread it around. Keep some rice here, I'll show you why. Get my hands washed. So now, we are going to put some avocado slices. Nice. Let's add some Japanese mayo as well, because why not? Okay. So now make sure you have like an inch space left from the bottom. You pick it up like this, you pull the filling inside, and picking this up, you try to seal it. Like you see how I've sealed it here. That's the most important step. You push it forward, you roll, you press, forward, roll, press, and you see there's this flap. You take some rice and you're going to mash it. Some people like to apply a little bit of water, like brush a little bit. I like this way. And now we are going to finish rolling it. Nice. Voila. Now I'm going to just tuck the edges from the side like this. Other side in. Nice. Voila. Let's keep it on the side. Let's do a kappamaki now. Okay, on the sheet. Using your hands, grab some rice. Center, spread it to the sides, spread a little up, and you go down. No, recording, yeah. A little more. Nice and even, make sure it is covering everywhere. Yeah, give my hands a quick wash. And now we add cucumbers. This time I'm going to leave a little cucumbers outside. Well, look at it. Slightly, like this. Let's put some spicy mayo inside here. Nicely. And now, pull the finger back, 1 inch gap here, and you roll, seal it, roll push forward. Nice. And now we seal the edges with a little grain of rice, mesh it. There you go. That's good. Okay. Now it's time to make an uramaki. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a California roll. So basically California roll is crab sticks. I've got here some crab sticks, avocado, cucumber, and Japanese mayo. And on the top, the orange thing you see, that is basically tobiko. Tobiko is basically flying fish roe. The eggs of flying fish. You get that in very different flavors. The orange one is like the classic one. You get one in green, that is wasabi flavored. You get one in yellow, that is yuzu. And you get one in black, that is soy flavored. So to make uramaki, you need half sheet. I'm going to cut it in half. Let's go. Yeah. Leave this on the side for now. And yeah. So now this time we are not going to leave any gap on the front. We are going to cover the sheet completely. Same as before, put it in the center, spread it to the sides, and you go further, backwards, and forward, backwards. Damp your hands and make sure it's nice and even. Yeah, nice. Give my hands a quick wash. Now I'm going to turn this over 1 inch gap. I'm going to put Japanese mayo at the base. Try putting the sauces on the base so when you're rolling, they don't smudge on the edges. Okay. Little cucumber. Slice of avocados. It can be a little trickier if you put a lot of filling inside. But once you get used to it, that's fine. And let's get one stick. So crab stick is not basically made from crab. It is made from white fish. And it's made into the strands. I'm going to split it. One stick like this. Nice. Now we roll it. Same as before. Lift it up. Try to seal it. Okay. Yeah. And then complete the roll. Yeah. Beautiful. So if I had to bake, I would have put it on the top before rolling. But I'm going to top it up with some avocado. the one which we sliced before. Yeah, this one here. Let's keep this on the side. Let's get a scraper. And now I'm going to start to spread this like this, giving it nice dabs. Nice. Lift it up with a scraper. Put it on top. Yep. Now I'm going to grab some cling film and I'm going to cover it. Like this. Get it off. Be careful when you're cutting it though. It can be risky. Always check your cling film after cutting if you're missing any pieces. Now I'm just going to press it like this. Give it a good shape. Make sure that the avocado sticks to the sushi. And yeah, nice and beautiful. Little adjustments. Voila. Okay, so now let's get to cutting the sushi and plating it. So now we need to have a little water on the side to make sure that your knife does not stick to the roll. Not much, a little. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my knife carefully, trying not to damage the tip. Make it wet. And now we cut it into half. This with the cling film on. Nice. Again, careful. This I'm going to cut again in half. Make sure you're using the sawing motion so you're not squishing the sushi down. Again, this into half. Dip it in. Splitting it into half. Half. There you go. And now you're going to slowly pull off the cling film, making sure everything comes off. Nice. Just got this. And now let's plate. Let's put some gari wasabi on there, some mayo. Let's put some mayo first. So I'm going to do dotting on the top. Nice. Some curry. Some wasabi, which I'm surely not going to eat. Nice. Let's toss on some teriyaki as well. Because why not? Voila. There you go. Pretty decent. Let's cut all the husomakis. You know what, let me just do a drizzle maybe. Yep, nice. I'm going to cut both the rolls together. Carefully dip it. Let's do half, then half. Osomakis are slightly easier to cut. And half. Split. 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 Okay. Obviously, I'm not going to put everything on one plate. So let's keep it like this. Let's put some Japanese mayo on top. And some teriyaki. And voila, that's how we do it. I know this looks a little messy, but it's fine. Let's try. Oh, so good.